everyone, Adam here, and yes, I have a tiny microphone. And today I'm just going to give my thoughts on watching Jaws at the cinema. I usually don't do movies. Usually on here I don't take a look at movies I've seen before, or not that often. Sometimes I do a couple of classic reviews, but not that often. But yeah, sort of just give my thoughts on seeing Jaws. Okay, of course, we know, of course, this stars Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Robert Shaw. And of course, this is a movie that made Steven Spielberg one of the most well-known directors in cinema. And of course, I'm sure most of you know this, especially people around the same age as me, knows this tells a story of a shark that's gone rogue and is targeting a beach community off Long Island known as Amity. New sheriff to town, played by Roy Scheider, Martin Brody, tries to get the beaches closed down, but he gets a lot of resistance from Mayor Vaughn, played by Murray Hamilton. As you see, it's a summer town and 4th of July is on its way. But after a couple of people are attacked at the beach, the mayor realizes they have to do something, and with the help of a young marine biologist, Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, and well, you know what he does for a living, a man known as Quint, who wants to hunt the shark down. Okay, so that's a basic premise. I'm sure most of you would have seen Jaws by now, but watching it in the cinema, I hadn't seen it in probably a few years. But I'll tell you this, while the shark is a part of it, is a major part of it, a lot of it is the relationship between the characters. Watching Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss work together will always be a highlight. Their characters are so different, and the dynamic just works so well with, Brody being the everyman in over his head, Quint as the old sea dog who, well, is a little crazy, and of course Hooper, who's the marine biologist and, the smart guy, I guess. I also think Murray Hamilton as Mayor Vaughn does a good job. And of course, this movie is so well directed. The cinematography is on point, from the underwater shots to on the orca. It pretty much made Steven Spielberg's career. But of course, the shark attack scenes are very suspenseful, as everybody knows. The reason we didn't see the shark that often is because it didn't work a lot of the times. So they had to use different techniques by not showing it, obviously, or from the shark's POV. If you watch the other Jaws sequels, they show the shark a lot. And even though we saw it in the first one, I don't. It does take away the mystery, I guess. Another thing, of course, is the music by John Williams. That simple score of just the sharks coming up to get its next victim. A couple of notes, and it works so effectively. Yeah, so there's a lot of good scenes, but one of my favourites is one that doesn't involve the shark. It's when Quint's telling the story of the USS Indianapolis. It's actually quite a sad and tragic story. And with what happens with Quint at the end, it's kind of ironic and kind of sad. It's also, I don't know, what would you class this movie as? A lot of people have classed it as a horror. I don't really think it is a horror, really. I think it's more, there's horror elements, but I'd class it more as an adventure drama, I guess. Like in Jaws 2, that's pretty much an action movie. Everything was ramped up. But yeah, the original will always be the best. And it was so good seeing it at the cinema. This is one of those movies I've always wanted to see at the cinema. And it does make a difference, like the cinematography, the music. If you do get a chance to see it in the cinema, give it a go. If you haven't seen it before, well, you should go see it. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say. Just my quick thoughts about seeing Jaws in the cinema. What do you think of this movie? Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Adam, and I'll see you again soon.